Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic week. Well, I get questions all the time and emails and comments about how do you get a free cruise? How do you get a free cruise? And I'm going to tell you something. This way is definitely not the way to try and get a free cruise. So what am I talking about? Well, I'm not talking about contests or, reaching out to cruise companies or trying to get jobs and then getting any of that. A trend right now that seems to be going on is people trying to, they'll book, say, a 5-day cruise, and then the next cruise after that is 4 days, and they'll hide and stay on the ship and try and stay on for the next 4 days, or say a 7-day cruise onto the next 7-day cruise. They'll try and stretch their week-long cruise into a 2-week cruise and hide on the ship. As you know, there's plenty of places. If you go up on deck and sleep in a lounge chair, people will just think you're out there watching movies under the stars and you fall asleep, and they're not going to disturb you. And then you go to a different location the next day and a different location the next day. You go to a bar where it's closed and you hide in a corner. And there are places you can hide on a cruise ship if people don't suspect that you're there. Or even if you're lucky enough, the cabin is empty where you are. No one else checks into the cabin that you were at. And you kind of, jam the door and you sneak into the door that way. All possibilities. The big thing is they find you. A lot of people are trying this lately, but you got to think about it. You have to turn in your cruise card when you leave, and they scan that you're going off the ship. And you can't turn in your cruise card and then turn around and walk back on the ship. They're going to notice that. So no, they know that you're still somewhere on the ship, and especially nowadays with all the RFID chips and all the different things that are going on. They know where their cruise passengers are. If you're late getting back to a port, they know you're late. They'll announce your name on the intercom saying, does anyone know where this passenger is? If you do, please contact the front desk as soon as possible. That's because they know who's missing. Out of 6,000 passengers, they'll know. But apparently a lot of people are trying it, especially younger people who don't quite know yet that they track everybody, or they're first-time cruisers or just trying to get an extra vacation out of it, and they're catching them. And the trouble is, if they don't catch them until they've left port, they're stranding you in the next port. They're just kicking you off the ship as soon as possible. Or worst case scenario, if they're close enough that they can call the Coast Guard will come out and pick you up and arrest you for trespassing at that point. And you'll be charged as well. So worst case scenario, get arrested for trespassing charge, get a criminal record. Best case scenario of them catching you is you're still at the port, they kick you off. Middle of the ground, you get to the next port and they kick you off and you have to pay for all that transportation yourself. So no, staying on board, trying to hide is not a great idea at all. I don't know how people think of these things, because I would never have ever thought, I'll just stay on board and sneak. That's what I'll do. I've gone down to the booking office and stuff like that and said, do you have any empty cabins on your, in 2 days when we're getting back to port? Are there any empty cabins? I might like to stay on, and they'll offer you a really good deal sometimes, because chances are they're not going to sell that cabin. So you can often get cabins that way for half price or something like that. But I would never try and just stay on the ship. That's crazy. Let me know what have you ever heard of this? Have you guys seen anybody try this or heard of anybody try that? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm curious to see if anyone's actually tried that I know, because I would never even thought of it. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.